Welcome to RenovatingRichesRadio.com with your hosts, Dennis Rodriguez and Ricardo Rosales. The show where we talk about turning rags into riches.
We are not responsible if this is not work for you. Read the fine print only. Do not believe a word we say. Results may vary depending on how much self-education and due diligence you do. This is only for the action takers and serves as entertainment.
And good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing? I hope everyone's doing good. Ricardo, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. I'm excited. I'm
know.
pumped up because our friend Marcus Jacober is here. It's Jacober.
How do you want us to pronounce your
You can say Jacober.
Jacober?
Yes.
Okay. Well, Marcus is here to talk to us about a
How do you pronounce your name, your last name in Portuguese?
Jacober.
Jacober.
See?
So anyways, he's here to talk about a subject that we have never covered, a subject that many people don't know about, but again, it's another strategy out there. He's going to talk mainly, well, he's doing different things, but mainly he's going to be talking about tax deeds, tax liens, how to make money, buying and selling. And I got to be honest, I got my notepad here. I barely ever bring it out because I know nothing about this.
What do you do with that class we paid Marcus for, man? You didn't take the course?
What class? No.
Jose did it.
Jose was the one who did it.
He's the one that took the course.
Yeah, he never
and
got a chance.
He never told us what he learned, right?
Exactly.
Go figure. So, anyways, I'm excited because I actually met Marcos at a...
Yeah, you guys know each other from like back
a couple of years
in the
ago.
day.
We met at a self-development seminar.
Okay.
Basically, it was a Millionaire Mind intensive.
Okay.
And you can spot people, man, in the room. You know that, there's something about them.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember Marcos was wearing that suit, man, and
which I don't wear very often anymore.
Yeah, he's not a suit guy, by the way, but that day he was wearing a suit, and he didn't look cheap, And then you can see his glasses, and I was like, all right, who the hell?
He
is
looked
this
like
guy,
Scarface or Al Pacino.
No, nothing like that. He pretty much looked,
the Wolf of Wall Street.
No, he to me he looked professional, and he looked like somebody I wanted to associate myself with. So, but that's the subconscious mind telling you, hey, you need to reach out to this guy.
Let's introduce Marcus.
So
Marcus,
that means if you meet me today with my crazy Airbnb boss shirt, you're just gonna pass by, right?
I don't know. Maybe I see the holes on your pants, and I'll say, okay,
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe this guy's a hipster. I don't know. But no, that day, because of the way someone looks, you start thinking about, okay, who is this guy? What does he do? How can I connect with? And I'm a visual guy,
Was that the intention, Marcus? That day, can you remember?
I'm pretty sure it was.
I mean, you were after, trying to attract some people.
Successful people do it subconsciously.
That's true.
He might not got up that day and say, okay, I'm gonna wear this suit because people are gonna. No, he just did it because that's just the way he rolls.
And the environment, right?
And the environment, that's right.
Typically, I'm just a black shirt guy.
Right.
Let's
like
put
we
it
are.
away.
We wear black shirts all day, every day. But
See, Ricardo was supposed to be wearing this one today, but I don't know.
No, I wore the reality is I put this one on because of the other video we have this afternoon.
Okay.
It's a very nice shirt. Make sure I go home with one of those.
We'll get you
We'll
one.
get you one.
We'll get you one.
When we fix it.
When we fix it, because it's not right. So
there's something it's in the bag. So anyways, but that's another story. Let's go into, because I mean, we need to dig into this. Marcus, tell us, because he's not only doing all this real estate thing, he's also an author, and he brought us his books.
He's got a couple of books here.
What's the story? This one is for
Democrats. So if you are a Democrat, that's your book. The title is "It Is Mr. President: How a Brazilian Immigrant Went from a Truck Driver to a Property Millionaire in 4 years." I don't know if you guys know that, but I work for a company called FEDEX. And I drove a truck for 14 years.
Like an 18-wheeler truck?
No. I was the guy that was
FedEx truck.
FedEx ground
Oh, okay.
guy.
FEEDX.
Right? I didn't get it. I'm slow. I'm sorry. It's Friday. I'm tired.
Yeah, I was to be the guy that was come here and drop your package. You see the bunch of packages of envelopes they have? I'm just the guy who was going to come here and
So
deliver
you were
them.
delivery guy for FedEx.
Yes, I
For
drove
how long?
14 years.
Oh my God. Okay,
Yeah,
so
now
that was like career.
nowadays.
And before FedEx, what do you do?
Well, so basically, I came to the United States in 1998
Okay.
with $100 in my pocket, right?
All
And
right.
somebody lent me the money to buy the flight ticket. I'm from Brazil, and although I'm a Brazilian, my life wasn't always a carnival.
Right.
So
That's what people think, right? Oh, you're
Yeah,
having
people,
fun.
oh, you're from Brazil. You must be a fun guy, right?
yeah, so that's why I came here to pursue the American dream.
Right.
A year and a half after I arrived in the United States, I have my own restaurant with 12 employees. So I'm a chef by trade
Oh, right.
in New York, and then
What
I
kind of
got
food?
Italian food.
All right.
Yes.
A Brazilian cooking Italian dishes, okay?
Go figure, right?
Yeah.
So
No
then-
moqueca, none of that stuff.
none
Right?
of this
Oh,
stuff.
pan de queijo.
Oh,
how-
yeah, my God.
None of
no,
this stuff. Picanha,
Let's not talk
none of
about
this
food
stuff.
right now,
Ooh.
please.
Yeah, I'm getting hungry. So I got a little disappointed with the restaurant industry because it's very slavery, right? So
Right.
you marry with that thing, right? No
Mhm.
Saturday, no Sunday, no holidays, none of this stuff. So I moved to Florida, which is the closest I could get to Brazil. I like to say what I like about Florida, it's only 15 minutes away from the United States, right?
Right.
I joke
Right,
that a lot.
right. No, I feel the same way. I used to live in Miami too, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
So I moved to Florida, and then I started working with FedEx in 2000.
All right.
In 2004, I had 12 properties because I figured there's three pillars to build wealth.
Okay.
Number one, having your own business,
Mhm.
right? I never met anybody that's become a millionaire working for somebody else. Number two is stocks and bonds, right? Crypto, forex, all this stuff.
Right.
And number three, real estate. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but in 2017, 700,000 new millionaires in the United States.
Did you see his name on it?
85,
I haven't made the list yet.
85% of those through real estate.
Real estate, yes, sir.
Yeah, real estate has made more millionaires in history than any other.
Actually, those numbers are accurate. It's about 85 to 90% of self-made millionaires in the world, not just in the United States, but in the world, did it through real estate.
Mhm.
The actors
15.
and actresses and the
And
athletes and the NBA basketball players and all these they're all like 0.095% of that 10% that it's. You know.
There's only so many LeBron James out there.
Right, there's so many of them.
So
yeah.
but let me go back a little bit because this is very important. This is the whole the whole reason for this podcast is to kind of like teach people, or I don't want to say teach, but let people know that there are ways where you can improve your life, and you're a perfect example. So just to recap, you came from Brazil. How old were you when you came? If you want to say
23, 24.
So he
I'm
was
43 now.
He was in his early 20s, moved from Brazil to the United States, an immigrant again. And we don't want to get into politics, but you moved into New York. You started your own restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
So you were straight from Brazil to becoming an entrepreneur in this country,
Yes.
making or bringing employment to people in New York. Then you didn't like that. You moved to Miami to be an employee, which I know how difficult it is once you own your own business to go work for someone else.
Yeah, the only thing is with FedEx, it was kind of mixed, right? They like you to feel that you own your own business. So I was a FedEx contractor with a one truck, and I'm driving. So I'm actually the contractor and the driver.
Oh, okay.
Okay, the only difference is I'm gonna call you guys a contractor, so that means every time your truck breaks down and if you have to pay for it.
Exactly.
But they treat us just like employees.
Okay. And you lasted 14 years there, but in the meantime, you were acquiring properties.
Well, but that's a long story. So basically, I realized the three pillars of building wealth, right?
Uh-huh.
So I said I'm gonna start with real estate. Though it was early 2000s, and like I said, in 4 years, I was through a normal buying and financing and put a tenant on it. So I went from 0 to 12 properties in 2004.
Okay.
Then a friend of mine gave me a book called The 16% Solution, right? And the book contains all the, not the secrets, but explain about tax liens and tax deeds. The problem is at that time, I thought I knew everything about real estate.
Right. Back then, 2004, 2005, 2006, if you had a pulse and you could breathe
you'll get a loan.
You got approved. And, you know, I remember in those days, I was in the military. I didn't make that much money. You know, I was barely paying bills. Barely paying. I don't think I was paying all my bills. I was barely paying some of those, right? And I remember somebody telling me, said, dude, you should go buy a house. And I was like, how am I going to go buy a house? I don't make money for that, you know? He's like, oh, no, they'll finance 100%. And if you breathe and, you know, and you got employment.
Yeah, military, it wasn't even easy.
Military, you can get a VA loan and you'll
get 110% approved. I mean.
And look, I went and sat down with somebody and they approved me. But in my mind, I was like, how in the heck are they going to approve me to buy something when I can barely pay my own bills, you know? And I was afraid. I didn't do it. I didn't buy any of those houses. And it's probably one of the best things I could have done back then because I know what happened afterwards.
Yeah, 2008, 2009 hit.
But I'm pretty sure maybe that's how Marcos, I don't know, got started into putting rentals.
Definitely. Over-leveraging yourself out there, right? And then, so I got the book. I didn't have any pictures on it. I didn't found interesting. So I threw the book in my office, and the book stood there for 5 years. Right, I kept doing what I was doing. And June 2006, I retired from my FedEx career, and I went full-time into real estate. Well, that only lasts 6 months. Right. Then the bubble burst, and I foreclosed in 17 properties in 2007.
So, okay, again, we go back to, you know.
No, but let me ask you a question about the foreclosures. Why did it happen? Did you have interest that spiked up, or do you have tenants that left and pretty much left?
So
the
yeah,
house
I have.
It was a whole mix.
Yeah, it's a whole mix, and by mainly because I had a property that was worth $300,000. It went down to $13,000.
Wow.
Gee, that's a hit.
Well, but
so and then you ask yourself, I said, what
do I keep them or
again?
not?
I wasn't very educated in the matter. I was just like a regular guy, figuring it out. I couldn't consider myself a real estate investor because I was not well
you thought you were.
I thought it was, yes. Then I just let it go. The only property that I was able to save was the one that I still have in the Woodlands. That's what brought me to Houston.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, so wait a second. I mean, these properties you were buying while you were in Florida were not only in Florida. You were buying
the many of them was in Florida. The last one that I picked up was the one in Houston. Will be the first
out of state
project.
Ain't that crazy how the universe works, man? You know, he picked up his last one during that batch, right, in Houston.
And that's when he ended up leaving.
In the Woodlands, Texas. And next thing you know, he moves over to the Woodlands, and now forget Florida. Everything is, you know, I'm going to leave that behind. And then he becomes a different.
Yeah, and I moved here in 2007. So it's been almost like 11 years.
Almost 11 years.
So you moved to the Woodlands after the debacle with the real estate, especially Florida, foreclosing on all those houses. What do you do next?
So I got back into FedEx business because it was the only thing that I know how to do.
It's easy to ride that bicycle.
It's easy to drive that truck, and then one day I was cleaning my office. 5 years actually after the guy gave me a book. I clean my office more often than every 5 years, if you wonder.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And then I found the book and
the book about tax liens and tax deeds.
Yes, and the rest is history.
And we want to know the history because this is so exciting, people. Just wait till you listen. So, if you were gonna explain our audience exactly, and audience, and I mean me, this is self-serving because I don't know nothing about this. What exactly does it mean? What you do, buying and selling tax deeds, tax liens, what's the difference? So take us through like a kindergarten explanation of how this works.
Tax liens and tax deeds 101. What's the basics of it?
Okay, very simple. I'm gonna make it very simple for you.
Yes, please.
So basically, tax liens and tax deeds are the two oldest investment strategies that ever exist.
Okay.
So they 140 years prior or before Wall Street, before stocks and bonds, right? It comes all the way from the British, right? So American law is based on the English common law, and the English common law, the king and the queen has to get paid first, right? That's a basic principle. As you know, counties need the tax
to operate.
The property taxes to operate. So property taxes finance all the services that the county provide, like schools, police, firemen,
Streets.
roads, all of that. Is a big chunk comes from property taxes, and every year, get this, 30 to 40% of residents don't pay their property taxes on time.
Okay.
Just so you know, I know you like Miami. Miami-Dade County this year is going to offer 97,000 tax liens.
Wow.
Okay? It's just one county within 3,144 counties.
But what does it mean?
I'm going to get there.
Yeah, okay.
So, just so you know what is the market is like. So, let's say Ricardo has a home that's worth $200,000.
Okay.
Right? And the home that he owns has a $100,000 loan on it, a mortgage. Okay, and his property tax is about $2,000. Right? So he's going through a little bit of trouble. He's gonna be late on his payment, and let's say so the last day to pay taxes is March 31st. Right? So as soon as he's default on that, the county is gonna put a lien on his property.
Correct.
The $2,000 lien, and because the county is the king, the lien is gonna take the first position. Right? The king has to get paid first. Now the county is gonna send a signal to investors like you and me, because just by putting a lien on the property, that doesn't help the county. What is the county number one problem?
Getting the money.
Cash flow, right? And now the county is gonna offer the tax lien to investors like you and me. And by acting on that opportunity, we can make anywhere from 10% to 36% return per year, guaranteed by law. In fact, if you find another investment strategy, get this, that pays you anywhere from 10 to 36% guaranteed by law, you go to my office, I'll give you $2,000. There's none, right?
Okay.
So basically, I'm going to now send the county, I'm going to pay his taxes. So I'm actually lending the money to the county. Here's Mr. County, your $2,000. Now the county is going to transfer to me as an investor 2 rights. How many rights?
2.
Number 1, the possibility to collect any interest or penalty that the tax lien will generate. Right? That's where the 10 to 20 to 36% comes from. Right number 2, in case of non-payment by Ricardo of that tax lien, I got the right to foreclose on the property. So then 2 scenarios are going to happen. Once I acquire the tax lien, the county is going to send notice to Ricardo and the bank or anybody that has financial interest in the property, saying, hey guys, something has happened. Marcos bought a $2,000 tax lien. Now you guys have 12 months to pay it. How long?
12 months.
That period of time we call redemption period, right? And redemption period varies by state, anywhere from 4 months all the way to 4 years, depending which state you buy the tax lien.
Okay.
Right? Ricardo comes forward, pays the $2,000, and the county is going to say, now you were late, enough is enough. Let's say, for sake of example, the county is charging 25% penalty. The county is going to collect $2,000 plus 25%, and by law, they have 4 days to send me a check in the mail. So I'm going to get a check in the mail with my $2,000 initial investment plus 25%.
So you're basically being a bank to the county.
Exactly.
I get it.
Okay? The second scenario, Ricardo, 12 months goes by. Ricardo doesn't pay. The bank doesn't pay. Nobody act upon that. I call the county and say, look, I have a tax lien number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nobody paid it. I want to exercise my second right.
Foreclose.
And now I want the deed of the property. You pay $19 to $40. Now the $200,000 home that he owns, it become yours for a $2,000 investment.
Okay,
that's basically
but
what we did this week.
No, hold on.
The
I want
difference-
to get there, but before you go that route, and I want to talk about that with Marcus. But you're acquiring a $200,000 property with a $100,000 dollar mortgage.
Loan, yeah.
No, you're not. basically, like I said, remember, American law is based on the English common law.
Yeah.
The king has to get paid first.
Yes.
When the king puts a lien on your property, it becomes first lien position.
It wipes out everything else.
Wipes out every.
So the
other lien.
bank is left holding the bag for their $100,000.
Exactly, sir.
Holy cow!
That's better. Hold on, because we have a case like that. The lady that came a couple of weeks ago or a month ago, I don't even remember, to the office with a house she bought in auction.
Mm-hmm.
She bought it for what it was owed on the taxes, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
But when the deed transferred to her, she found out it had a mortgage on it. Now the mortgage company is foreclosing on her.
That's not possible.
Well, it is happening to her because she.
No, that's not possible. Let me tell you this. A couple of years ago, I bought a condo in Lake Conroe, a Bentwater, right? Check this out. And I went through this many times. I've been doing this. I have over 700 transactions in my book, right? So I'll tell you two examples. So this condo, I paid $25,000 at auction, and it was worth like 120. So I went there. I did carpet, paint, put $10,000 in. Took about 2 weeks to do the project. So one day I arrived at the condo to bring some materials, and I put my key in the door, and my key didn't work. And it had a red sticker on the door, say, please call 1-800 blah blah blah. So I called the number, and they say, this is such and such a company. We work for the bank, Wells Fargo, and I want to let you know that your property is going to foreclosure. I was like, you guys don't understand. You were talking to the new owner of the house. What do you mean the new owner? I said, yeah, well, I just bought this property at the tax auction a couple of weeks ago. You guys now have 24 hours to come back here and replace my lock. Right? So
this lady owns that property then?
Yes, that's it.
She doesn't know it.
What? Yeah.
We need to call her.
Yeah, she owns that property.
We need to actually take the deed of that property. That's what we need to do.
That's it. A second thing, I bought a condo in Florida.
But wait a second. Before we move forward, because I'm in awe here, and you can all, if you're watching this video, you can see this. That means that the bank is, I don't want to say illegally, but is out of place telling her that they're going to foreclose on this property because she hasn't paid the loan.
Well, the bank can tell her that they're going to foreclose. The question is, do they have the right to foreclose? If
exactly.
She's well educated,
they're bluffing her, basically.
Yes, if she's well educated, and apparently she's not.
No,
right?
she's not. She came here saying, "I bought this house at the auctions, at the tax sale." She paid $40,000 that was owed in taxes. And she's
her
like,
property.
now I'm gonna lose the property because when I bought it, I didn't do the title search and I didn't know there was a mortgage.
So she bought that property in Texas.
Yes.
So basically, it's a little bit different. Texas is a redeemable deed state. What's happening is the bank can come back. So Texas, once you buy a property in Texas, you have, if the property is not a homestead property, the owner has the right to come back and buy the property back. But they gotta pay 25% penalty on it. So if the property is non-homestead, it's 6 months. If the property is homestead,
it's like 2 years.
2 years. So what's gonna happen is, if the redemption period hasn't expired yet, in order for the bank to buy the property back from her, the bank doesn't have the right to foreclose on the property, but the bank has the right to buy the property back from her. What the bank's gonna have to do is pay her the $40,000 that she paid at her auction plus 25% penalty. And the bank has 180 days to do that.
Wow. But they're not. I mean, what they're telling her is like, hey, this property had a mortgage. You're not paying it.
We can talk about that afterwards.
Okay.
She can get a lawyer, send the bank a copy of Texas tax deed law, and to educate the bank.
Wow. Now the other
and just to finish the second example.
Yes, go ahead.
So I bought a condo in Florida, and after that, a month later, I got a nasty letter from the homeowner association with a $30,000 lien on the property. The guy hasn't paid the homeowner association for years. I just forward that to my lawyer. My lawyer forward to the association lawyer the tax deed law in Florida, and the lien was wiped out.
and then you started paying the HOA like you're supposed to.
Yes, of course. After you buy the property, then you have to keep
That
up.
you're
Yeah.
the new owner, you're
You're the
responsible
new
for
owner.
it.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not responsible for the past stuff, but hey,
Yes,
I'll pay from now on. No
Now-
big deal.
that's correct.
Now, in this case, for example, we just bought a property last week. The guy was getting foreclosed because of taxes,
Okay.
right? Here in Texas. It's actually north of you, not that far. He owned like $4,000 in taxes. So we went ahead and paid the taxes. First of all, we got the deed of the property, so he deeded the property to us. Then we went pay the taxes the day before the auction.
Okay.
The house is ours. In that case, why didn't the county get that $4,000 from someone like you? Is it because they don't need the cash flow?
Yeah, because the thing is, you not mistaking, you confusing. We have two types of states. We have states that they do tax liens and states that do tax deeds.
Okay.
Texas is a tax deed state. So that's why on the tax deed state, the county behave a little bit different. So on a tax deed state, what the county does is the county is going to, once you don't pay your taxes, the county is going to wait 1 year. How long?
1 year.
No, 365 days, right?
All right.
And then if you don't pay within that time, right, the county is going to start a foreclosure process.
Uh-huh.
The foreclosure process may last 6 to 7 months.
Yeah, he had like 10
And then
years that
if
he
you
didn't
don't
pay
pay,
taxes on.
yeah, if you don't pay within that period of time, the county has no other option than auction the property.
Exactly.
That's why that's why here in Texas the county didn't put a lien on the property.
I see.
Yeah, but it took him like 10 years. I mean, because he didn't pay taxes for a long time, man. And it was,
It was like 80 years.
yeah, and but the property never went on the tax sale.
Well, on that case, I think it
was
was
up to
a
the
problem
county.
with the county. Yes, yeah, it's up to the county.
Maybe
to,
they know it doesn't have equity, so they just let it run. I don't know.
I
But-
don't know.
But this so from what you're telling me, there are some states where you do what you first described, which is
Tax
tax
liens.
liens. That you can get the property for very low.
What are some
investment-
states for tax liens?
Well-
that just off the top of your head.
Well, we have Louisiana, we have Arizona, we have New Mexico. Those are tax lien states. Florida is what we call hybrid state. So Florida,
Both.
you can invest in tax liens and you can invest in tax deeds.
So
Oh, wow.
Floridians complicate everything.
No, I mean, they just want to offer different options.
And then you have tax deed states, which is like
Texas.
California, Texas, Georgia, Tennessee.
Can you make money in the tax deed states?
Oh yeah. So, what is the difference between tax liens and tax deeds?
We
When
should
you-
have started there.
So when you buy tax lien, you're not buying the property. You're buying the two rights.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
So mainly you're gonna get the percentage.
Mhm.
Okay. When you buy a tax deed, you are already buying the
property.
Right? It's yours. Besides,
Kind of like what we did, but that's not considered buying the tax deed. We just got the property deeded to us and went and paid the
Yeah,
taxes.
we got the deed
yeah,
voluntarily.
you
by
use
the
you
owner.
use a strategy that I use. So I try to buy properties before. My goal is to buy properties before the
they go on
auction,
an auction.
during the auction, and then after the auction.
Yeah, because sometimes they don't sell, right?
Yes.
Is that another class?
But I also can look at all the properties that I wanted to buy. Check this out. You wanna get a clue? A clue?
Hold on.
Right.
Let me.
Go
So
on
check
page,
this out.
page
For
two.
you guys,
Page 2.
for you that do a lot of wholesale and mailing letters and all that, I'm gonna give you another strategy that you can use. For instance, in Texas, Tennessee, and Georgia. Remember, I said that in Texas, once you buy a property at auction, the homeowner has the right to come back and buy the property back.
Yeah.
6 months, redeem the property, 6 months or 2 years. What if you get the data, if you gather the data for all the properties that goes and get sold at auction, and you buy the right of redemption from the owner, basically you were not part of the auction, but all you have to do is pay 25% premium on it, redeem the property, and then you can sell it. Did you hear what I just said?
Yeah,
No,
that's like an option, man.
Wait a second.
You're-
So property already sold at auction.
So
right?
the problem with Texas is we have 254 counties, right? And all the auctions happen at the same day and the same time.
Tuesday.
First
Yes.
Tuesday of every month.
Yes, unless you are the Holy Ghost, you're not gonna be able to go at every single one of those auctions. But what if it's a bunch of property there? Let's say Brazoria County, right? You went to Fort Bend County, and then Brazoria County. There's 5 or 6 properties that you would love to buy it, but you're not able to go there, and they were sold for 50% market value, sometimes 30, 40% market value. You can target those properties and buy the right of redemption from the owner, pay whatever Ricardo paid at auction, 25% premium, and then you got the deed of the property.
Okay, so let's do an example because maybe this way, not me but everyone will understand. So let's say there's a property that the market value is $100,000, right?
Okay.
To make it easy, and for some reason it's sold at auction for $30,000.
Okay.
So you're buying 30 cents on the dollar, right?
Yes.
There's a new owner, a new person that thinks, "Oh, I bought this property for 30,000. I'm the best," But there's a redemption period.
6 months. Let's say 6 months.
Let's say 6 months. So after the auction, in those 6 months, you, Marcus, can call the original owner and say, "Hey, Mr. John, sorry you lost your property at auction, but I got you a deal." You give that person money, or how do?
Yes, you buy the right of redemption.
Okay,
You negotiate with him.
So say, Mr. John, by any chance, do you have any plans to buy that property back? No, I don't have any money. Okay, well, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna buy your right to redeem that property. How does that sound to you? Well, yeah. What do you got? I'm gonna give you
$500.
how much you offer them. Whatever.
500 to
$500.
$1,000.
That's what comes to my mind.
I'm gonna give you $500 if you transfer that right of redemption to me.
Yes.
And the person goes like, "Yeah, sure, whatever. I just lost the property. I move on with my life. Where's the $500?" You pay that person $500.
That's correct.
And now you need to bring to the table the $30,000 that the buyer pay at the auction plus 25%.
Yes.
And if my math is not wrong, that's $7,500.
Okay.
So for $37,500, you can buy yourself
$100,000 home.
a $100 property that the investor at the auction thought he was making a killing
That's
on.
true. Yes.
Right. Yeah. So that's what I would do. I would just go and chase the guys that just bought the auction and go buy the redemption.
You're gonna be
period.
hated by all the investors.
It's all good. That's the
Can
that's the
they
name
do?
of the
Can
game.
they do
That's the
something?
game.
Can they do something to stop it? Like,
No.
well, if you offer 500, I'm gonna offer 38 or
No,
whatever.
they can't do that because actually they got the deed of the property. Let's say Ricardo is the investor who went and paid $30,000 for the property.
Yeah.
He has the deed of the property
Under his
did it
name.
to his name, but an embargo has a clause that says that he must obey the redemption period.
Now, let me play devil's advocate. If I go to the auction and I bought this property at $30,000, can I go to the original owner and say, "Hey, I'm gonna buy the redemption period from you, so nobody else can come and take it away from my
That's
hands"?
correct. You can do that as well. You just buy the right of redemption from the owner. That way, you don't have to wait the 6 months or 2 years. You can sell the property on the next day.
Yeah. So if you go to auction and you buy the $100,000 property for $30,000, then you go find that owner and say, "Hey, look, man. By the way, I just bought that property, but I feel like I really want to be good to you. I know you're going through tough times.
I'm gonna give you another.
I'm gonna
500.
give you another $500 so you can give me the redemption period back to me." And the guy's probably gonna need money. That's why he didn't pay his taxes to begin
That's
with.
true.
And he's gonna be like, well, yeah, why not? I already lost it. Boom, there you go. Thank you, Mr. Marcos. Boom, away he goes. So now you avoid it. But this is the great thing about having somebody that knows what
Oh
he's talking
man,
about.
I'm loving it. I'm
Right?
loving it.
Because that's the reason why you see, and he's not holding anything back. By the way, Marcos has, if you go to marcosjacober.com, you can see everything about Marcos, but he's also got the tax liens and tax deeds classes that
Yes.
we pay for that we haven't taken, so we need to do that.
Well, our other partner
was-
appropriated himself with the program.
I'm pretty sure he's doing some of that stuff, whatever. But
No, no. I mean, jokes aside, we're just scratching the surface on this, right, Marcus? Right. I mean, there's a lot more to learn, and this is the guy you need to contact.
Yeah, if you want to learn about tax deeds and tax liens, I tell you to find Marcos. That's it. Nobody else. Marcos is the guy. Maybe his mentor, but I don't know what his name is. But I'm pretty sure that by now, Marcos has probably surpassed his mentor.
And teach you're even teaching this like
around the world.
You travel to other countries.
Yeah,
to
so I teach tax liens and tax deeds in 3 different languages: Portuguese, English, and Spanish, in 4 different countries, 5 if you consider Texas.
There you go.
And we only 3 clicks away on your phone. I can show you how you can buy a piece of property right now for $50.
Look, this is the book. Look. You need to go find it. This is the one for the Republicans, okay? Let me show the one for the Democrats.
And this is also available on Amazon.
Amazon.com. You want to go and find Eat This, Mr. President, how a Brazilian immigrant went from a truck driver to a property millionaire in 4 years, okay? So this is somebody that knows what he's talking about when it comes to tax deeds and tax liens. Actually, when we had that question with that lady, my first thing that came to my mind was, I'm going to call Marcos and ask him questions about this. But then for whatever reason, she's got it with a realtor right now. So she needs to pull it off the listing. And in order for us to help her, she's got to do certain steps that we gave her.
Well, but she can even sell the property now because it's still under the redemption period. So she needs to.
Right.
Yeah. She's going to have problem closing.
We'll talk about that after the podcast.
But anyways,
see what we can do.
What you want to do is you want to find Marcos Jacober, marcosjacober.com, and your company name where you do the trainings for tax deeds and tax.
It's American Tax Lien Association.
American Tax Liens Association. It's got an eagle, right?
Yeah, has an eagle.
The logo is an eagle. It's a beautiful logo, by the way. Don't get confused with other ones that are around it that have a similar name. Is the American
Tax Lien Association.
Tax Lien Association. He is the guy. If you don't see Marcos there, you're in the wrong spot, okay? Anyways, talking about investing. So Marcos tells me he sends me a WhatsApp or something like that. It's like, dude, you got to check out this thing that I'm doing with Airbnb.
No, wait a second, stop.
Why not?
Before we go there, I've got a question that I got to ask regarding the tax liens and tax deeds. It all sounds good, Marcus, but I'm getting the impression that this is very upfront money intensive. Like, you need a lot of capital to get in this game. Is that how it works? Because what you're telling me is like in order to buy these tax liens and tax deeds, it's like $2,000 here, $4,000 there, and I get it. You're gonna make a lot more money, but you need to have that capital up front, do you?
Well, yes, of course. You need to have money, a little bit of money to make money, right?
Okay.
However, you can start buying tax liens I see tax liens anywhere starting from $50. Last week I was researching Sarasota, and I found a tax lien that's worth. You can buy the tax lien for $125,000. Belongs to an island that's worth $7 million. So if you have $125K sitting somewhere, you can buy that tax lien. But with 3 clicks on your phone right now, I can show you how you can buy a piece of property for $50.
So in order for you to learn,
in your pocket?
No, not in my pocket.
Yeah.
You got it on my American Express. Can you do American Express?
You can.
No,
you
so
can buy a
look,
property right now.
If you want to learn how to buy tax liens and tax deeds for $50, you need to call him. You need to get to his website,
It's amazing.
marcosjacober.com. He's going to show you somehow. I don't know what the process is. I haven't figured that out myself, but he's going to show you somehow on your phone with 3 clicks on how you can get investing in this magnificent vehicle that Dennis and I haven't even touched. We've been so busy trying to chase other golden keys that but I'm pretty sure we're gonna start.
That's what I love about real estate, right? It's like 9-10 strategies out there.
There is a bunch of different strategies,
hundreds.
and you basically marry the one that you like the most.
That's true.
And for some people, it's to flip houses. For some people, it's to wholesale houses.
Buy notes.
For
sell
some people,
notes.
it's to buy notes and sell notes. And for other ones, it's tax liens and tax deeds. But one thing that I want to make sure is that if you want to learn the tax liens and the tax deeds strategy, this is the guy to do it with.
All right. Now, with that out of the way, he has more, and he's gonna talk about what he's doing now because this guy doesn't stop. So, Marcus, you came here with that black shirt that says
Air be the boss.
Be the boss.
Hashtag Air be the boss, and the S's are the dollar signs.
Yes.
And when I first read it, I kind of got the impression it has to do something with Airbnb, but why don't you explain to our audience and ourselves what exactly you're doing now?
Well, it all started like this. Hey, Marcos, you want to come and, meet and let's do a podcast? Oh, yeah, absolutely, bro, whatever you want. By the way, I got to tell you this new strategy or the strategy I'm doing with Airbnb where I'm cash flowing,
ridiculous amount
of money that people make a year, okay? I'm not going to put a number on it, but if you want to say it, I'm all good. But I'm not going to be the one doing it. And I was like, all right. Now this guy is not only doing tax liens and tax deeds.
He's going to take us into a second program.
He's going to take me into another program that I'm going to have to go pay now to learn this. And the reason I do it is because I believe in him. I know he's the real deal, okay? So I invest in education. I've been investing in. We were investing in education together. So
that's true. We did train the trainer.
Yeah,
Quantum Leap.
That
the
day
whole
we
thing.
dropped $7,000-8,000.
Yes, it was the best investment I done.
That's what
right.
created this. So people, we tell these people, it's not a bad thing to invest in your education, especially to go to seminars, because the networking, they say you're worth what your net worth.
That's right.
So this is part of it. The reason. First, Ricardo and Marcus met is because they were both attending a seminar.
It's because we were both dropping a few $1,000s on a seminar.
Well, I'm part of 3 masterminds, right?
Okay.
The most expensive one that I'm a part of right now, I pay $50,000 a year to be part of it. We just came from Los Cabos. It's 100 millionaires from all over the world that get together, and out of that mastermind, I brought home about $500,000 worth in business.
Wow!
So it's worth it.
It's
for you
worth
to
to
part.
invest.
Yes.
Yeah, invest in your education.
Well, some people, they grow their network by going out and meeting other people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And some people say, well, but I don't have rich friends. How do I get rich friends, right? And they try to go to all these clubs and all these places.
Join a golf club and
looking for the
start
rich
playing
friends
polo.
in the wrong areas. They're looking for rich friends in the wrong areas. How do you know you're going to find another rich guy? You go to a mastermind.
It's someone that drop a 50.
The guy that paid $50,000 to join that mastermind most likely is rich, right? Or he's got the means to pay for it.
That's true.
And that's how you're going to get together. So it's an easy way to say, you know what, I'm going to grow my business. And what I have, like on Marco's case, what he's got, he knows it serves to a lot of other people. Because now rich people, what are they looking for? They're looking for places to park their money.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, out of the 100 millionaires that were attending this mastermind, again, 80% became a millionaire doing real estate.
Right.
They all understand the real estate game. None of them knew about tax liens and tax deeds.
Absolutely.
Everyone's doing the different thing. Yeah,
they're chasing a different animal, right? So, like we're chasing a different animal all the time. So
let's get back to the Airbnb.
Anyways,
the boss.
he tells me this Airbnb the boss thing, and I was like, okay, now I want to know what, because that property we were talking about that we just bought off the tax problem that the person had. We're thinking about doing Airbnb with it.
Okay.
It's a little bit. You gotta see it. It's a little bitty cabin.
It's a 300 square foot mansion.
Right. It's a 300 square foot mansion, but we said, okay, it's by the lake. It's got a boat ramp. Maybe we can do Airbnb with this thing. So tell us what is.
Show me the pictures. If you don't want to do Airbnb, I'll rent the property from you.
There you go.
Okay. So basically, I was in one of my trips doing my teaching a class. And then I was talking to a friend of mine, a bot of mine, and he was explaining to me how options works, right? Because you don't buy the stock, you just rent the stock.
Just rent it.
Am I right?
Yep.
Right? And I was in Airbnb, not having a very great experience. I don't know if you guys use Airbnb.
Yeah, we have.
Sometimes you go to Airbnb, it's an awesome experience. Sometimes you go to Airbnb, it feels like they got everything that didn't fit in their home. And throw it on that place.
Or they went on Craigslist and
yeah,
put it
you
in
have
there.
no experience whatsoever. So the dishes are different, the cups don't match, all the crazy stuff. The couch is like, It feels like they pick up that on a sidewalk somewhere.
Or even worse, it turned out to be a good property, but the last one we Airbnb was a family that was their primary residence. So what they did is that they went out for the weekend and Airbnb to us. So when we walked into the house, they had drawers in the kitchen that were locked, like say, don't open this one. And you know, the pantry was like, it had a lock.
That's
like,
where
don't open.
Our food is here. So
and it felt weird. Like, this is someone's personal property. I don't know.
But that's changing. So you need to understand this. The future is what we call share economy.
yeah.
That's where we're heading out, right? So I'm sitting in this Airbnb and I kept thinking, how can I translate the option principle into real estate? Because up to now, we grow up and we were programmed to believe that the only way you can make money with real estate is if you own the damn thing, right? If you buy the property, if you have control of the property. Not necessarily. So Airbnb was a cool strategy that I used to crack the code on that. I'm really big in life hacks and basically change all the notion of consumption and ownership. When you think you need to own it, you don't have it anymore. So the secret is simple. I go in, so you are an investor, right? So you have many properties to rent, right?
Yes.
What is the biggest headache that any landlord have?
Tenants.
There's two. Why? Tenants, one. What is this?
Not paying.
But what? Not paying. Fear not to get paid.
Yeah.
And second,
Damaging the property.
damaging the property, right? So what if I come to you?
You can tell we're landlords, right?
Yes. So what if I come to you and say this, Ricardo, I'm provide corporate housing for businessmen, travelers, right? I want to rent your property. Because I'm a company, I'm assure you that you're gonna get paid. I do a directly deposit every first of the month. And I'll tell you this, anything that happens with your property,
I'll cover the expenses.
all the way up to $700, I'll take care of the expenses. The business traveler that's going to come, they're going to stay a couple of days a week. They're barely going to cook. So the wear and tear on your property is going to be less, right? And I offer you 3 types of insurance. And because I need to have your property in pristine condition, in order for me to provide housing for those individuals, it's in my best interest that your property is always being taken care of.
Absolutely.
What would you say?
Where do we sign?
Right? So
That, or I'm going to flip the coin, the investor, being an investor, might say, wait a second, why don't I do that myself? And I'm pretty sure you have an answer for that.
They don't have time.
that's many investors that would do that, but a majority of investors are happy to get the rent money because they're already making cash flow.
Yeah.
Right? Now, perhaps you don't want to go in the Airbnb business. Prefer you don't want to manage that property. So the idea is, let's say I go out and I rent a property for $1,000
A month.
a month, right? That property is going to cost me about $250 in utilities, right? So it's $1,250, and I can rent that property on Airbnb for $99 a day if you do the right thing. So that property is going to bring me $3,000 potentially, because my average. Do you want to know my average of my occupation and percentage average?
Yes.
Guess.
60%.
95% in the
No way.
Wow.
every single one of them. Okay?
Because this is
Now,
corporate. This is not tourism.
Does it matter where the location is?
So there is a way for you to choose the location, and I use something that we call Burger King effect.
Okay.
Okay? I'll get that to a
Time,
minute.
time to ride.
Burger King effect.
That's a whole another
whole nother
podcast
podcast.
on that. So basically, I go in, I rent the property long term,
Right.
just like options, and I make the spread between the long term and the short term. So $3,000 comes in, I pay $1,250 in expenses. Whatever's left is mine. That's a cash flow without owning a property.
No, but you gotta put furniture and all of that stuff.
Yeah,
That's-
typically we cost anywhere from $4,500 to $6,000 depending on the property to put the furniture in. If you do it yourself, that's your first property. You can spend less money than that. But because we are doing this so rapidly, we buy everything new. I don't have time to go shopping for used furniture.
You don't take your personal properties furniture, put it there, and then get brand new one for your house.
No, because actually
your wife will be very happy.
No, yes. So because actually this month alone, I have to build 20 Airbnbs. Right now, I'm running 44 properties. My goal all the way into December, and I started 12 months ago, right?
Okay.
And my goal is to get in December with 100 to 150 properties, cashing flow anywhere from $700 to $2,000 a month.
So basically, your expense is really the first month deposit, and the first payment, which whatever it is, I don't know, $2,000, $1,000. It's going to be a couple of grand. Then you need to put the furniture in it.
That's true.
Or you can rent it.
Yes, or you can also rent the furniture if you want.
You can rent it. So yeah,
there are services out there that will
go to rent-a-house.com or whatever they're called.
Rent to own, or
and put it in there. And that way your expenditure, your Capex lowers at the beginning.
When you're getting started, you want to try to keep it, as cheap as possible.
But if you are creative and that's your first Airbnb, like I said, you can put a good product out there with used furniture. Yep. I just bought an entire apartment from a guy that's moving back to Spain. I bought his entire apartment for $1,200. Couch, bed, mattress, everything, right? So, like I said, if that's your first one, you don't have to spend.
Right now, I got 3 properties that I can do Airbnb.
But think about it.
I'm thinking about a fourth one.
But think about it. Let's say you invest $7,000 into this thing, and you cash flow $1,000 a month.
No, that's 7 months.
Yeah, 7th month you break even.
There you go.
Yeah.
But Marcus,
and it's not yours.
Let me ask you again, because from what I've heard from the typical Airbnb, vacation type of property or areas that are tourist driven, they don't get anywhere near that 95% occupancy. They're looking at numbers, maybe, I don't know, and I'm just making this up. I can probably
maybe they're charging too much.
They're in the 50%, like half of the month they can have it occupied, the rest of the month, they're so okay, let's go into the Burger King effect and explain where are you getting these properties in order to get that 95% occupancy versus a typical Airbnb?
So we have 2 types of Airbnbs out there. We have people that really realize that this is a $10 billion business and is a great cash flow, and they pour attention to details and provide a good experience and a good product. And you have people like I said, they just think it's about the couch, the bed, they just throw everything in there and people will crash into it, right? Now, the number one, like real estate, what is the max of real estate? Location, right? So everything starts where you're going to build your Airbnb. So that's why I use the Burger King effect. What is the Burger King effect? Have you noticed that every time you see a McDonald's across the street, that's a Burger King right next to it?
Yeah. Or CVS and Walgreens, same
Why
thing.
is that?
There's a market there.
There's a market.
Because McDonald's is not in a burger business. McDonald's are in a real estate business. And McDonald's spend a lot of money to pick their locations. McDonald's outstand Burger King 5 times in marketing to attract traffic to its stores, right? So Burger King goes there, put a store right next door to it. Okay? Now, McDonald's has more customer per hour than Burger King. But guess who's making more money?
Burger King is.
Because he doesn't have all the expenses.
They didn't have to put all the money in marketing. They didn't have to put all the research into where they were going to put
they're
it.
Piggy tagging on
piggybacking McDonald's.
So that's the Burger King effect. Now, if you think about Airbnbs, who are the McDonald's in that field?
The hotels.
Exactly. So the first clue that you gotta follow in order to pick a location for your Airbnb, where are the hotels? Because the hotels did a study. They better have done a study because they're gonna put this $5 million, $10 million building there. They gotta have a market study. But if you notice also, anywhere there's a La Quinta, there's a Hilton. There's like they use the
groups. Yeah.
They go in groups. So as long as you put your mind is all like,
I know. Houses I'm putting in
so,
Airbnb.
I can read his mind.
So in your mind, let's say that you have a hotel over here and you put an Airbnb in a 2-mile radius from that hotel. As long as you offer a better product at lower price, you're always going to get booked 95%. Because nowadays, people don't want to stay in the hotels anymore. They don't want to rent just a bed, privacy. A TV on the wall, and privacy. A bathroom. They want to have this home away from home feeling.
Experience, yeah.
And as long as you provide that, you're king.
Yeah, they want the privacy. They want to walk around on their underwear around the house. You know, they
do that in hotels.
Yeah, but they can only do it in their room, right? They can't go from their master bedroom to the kitchen, you know, and just grab a glass of water or maybe cook something on the weekend or maybe throw a barbecue. You can go like we did. We went to Austin. We got a whole house for us for the weekend, and we barbecue. I let Dennis walk around in underwear, you know. No, but we had a blast, right? Because we were in our house. We can't do that on hotels.
Yes.
Hotels, yeah, you might sleep better because the bed, you know, it's...
Well, you can provide that experience like Marcos is saying.
Exactly.
And then another thing that you're mistaken is thinking that Airbnb is just relevant to tourism. Mm-hmm. That's not the case at all, okay? It's funny because this month I have like 4 of my Airbnbs in the Woodlands. They're all occupied for people that's going through a divorce and they got kicked out of their house.
Yeah.
So, oh wow! Yeah, I haven't even thought about that.
No, and the good
so
thing about
they've been renting for 4 months now.
The good thing about Airbnb is you get paid up front. Credit card right away.
Yeah, as soon as they check in, you got your money deposit in your.
And then you pay they pay for the cleanup. So you gotta have some sort of cleaning crew or something.
So I'm gonna share a video with you guys. I don't know how you want to share that with your audience. I did what we call Airbnb the Boss Challenge.
Okay.
Where I built personally, me and a friend of mine, just 2 of us, we built an Airbnb in 24 hours. From the moment that we signed the lease, grabbed the key, 24 hours later, the Airbnb was staged, has all the furniture on it, and was live on the Airbnb website. We built it in 24 hours. Took us 35 minutes to get our first reservation. Mm-hmm. And 24 hours later, we had $3,300 worth of reservation for that unit alone.
We'll put the link to that video on the show notes so people can watch it. But I want to say this. Right now, we have 2 properties that Ricardo asked me last week to list for rent. And I got to be honest, I've been so busy that I haven't done it. That's what I told Ricardo. But the real reason, Ricardo, I didn't put them for least is because this is what
Airbnb.
I knew this was coming, man.
Yeah, but you got to make sure you provide the right experience. So the key word for Airbnb is experience. Let me tell you this. So I'm in this journey 12 months, right? I don't teach anything that I haven't done it. Mm-hmm. I have to go out, do it, test the waters first, and so forth, so on. So I did that. I did Airbnbs myself. I went from 1 property to 2 to 10. Now we have 45. So before I put the Airbnb the Boss program, I said, how can I put this in a logical and an easy step for anyone to follow? So it's 8 steps. And the idea about Airbnb the Boss is that you can have properties anywhere in the world and manage those properties from distance. Because otherwise, it makes no sense. Makes no sense. So we got properties in Miami, Orlando. We got 16 properties in the Woodlands. We're gonna open 10 more here down south, and we have in Las Vegas. So then I went and I test the material. I tested training, Airbnb the Boss training, in a group of 10 people. So I had this couple from South Carolina. They're realtors, and they had a property. Check this out, that they acquired through Subject 2.
Okay.
And they were trying to rent that property for 6 months for $1,200. Okay? And they couldn't find a tenant. And it's 40 minutes away from downtown Charlotte, not near, like nothing going on nearby. So they're like, well, we already did the Airbnb the Boss course. Let's test this property because we already have it. So they did it. In the first 30 days, they brought in $2,700. And they couldn't rent for $1,200. Mm-hmm. Now they net anywhere from $32 to $3,700 a month on that property alone. on Airbnb.
Now, when you say, and I know we're getting to the end of this program, we'll probably have to do follow-ups. When you say you need to provide the experience, what exactly that entails, other than
a good bed and I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, is it just like the towels? I mean, what does that mean?
Okay, it means like that place is better than your home, or similar to your home. Right?
The homey effect.
The homey effect. So make sure you stage the property well. Make sure, if you don't know anything about staging, hire someone, interior decorator, or somebody that can provide a good experience. For instance, every guest that arrives at my Airbnb, there's a bottle of wine and 2 glasses of wine sitting in the bed waiting for them.
Okay.
There's chocolate under the pillow, right? Every Airbnb we put what we call wow effect. Wow effect means they walk into the place, there's a piece of art, there's a theme from the Airbnb, or anything that gives the wow effect. Because my goal is that when they go have a dinner with their friends, they tell you gotta see the Airbnb.
They gotta brag about it. They're gonna brag about it.
Exactly. That's the idea.
And they know now. Or let's say, I don't know, Airbnb the boss is the company listing these Airbnbs. I'm just thinking out loud.
You start creating your brand.
You start creating your brand, and you're like, man, I'm going to Vegas. I'm gonna see if Marcos has got anything there, because I know
that has happened right now, because we are branching out to different markets, and I have people that recurring. They say, Marcos, I know you have 16 properties in the Woodlands. I want to check your next property. I want to see the other property, right? So they're coming.
Yeah, you got one with a balcony that looks over downtown the Woodlands. Oh yeah, we might have something like that, you know. Cool, man. So all right, and how do people get on the Airbnb? I mean, Airbnb the Boss program.
Oh, just have to go to marcosjacober.com,
and it's there.
You're gonna be able to watch the Airbnb the Boss challenge in there. You're gonna be able to have all kinds of information for all the different programs that I offer, and that's it.
Perfect, man. This is an educational. That's why we love doing these things, because Marcos didn't really try to dodge the bullet or none of that stuff. He basically threw out all the information that he could during the time that we had. And if you're watching this and you're not reaching out to Marcos and taking action on tax liens and tax deeds or Airbnb the Boss, you need to go find a job. Okay?
Go work for someone else.
Because what the information he just gave out, I know for a fact that Dennis and I are going to make a killing in Airbnb the Boss, buying tax liens and tax deeds. And the reason we didn't get into it before is we didn't have time. You know, we didn't have time to learn about it.
I have one more thing to say, if you allow me.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
So, all your audience that's watching or listening, you need to understand this. Financial freedom is closer than you think.
Yes.
And I'm going to summarize my mission. Why I do what I do. I don't need to sell any courses to make a living. You probably know that.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I bought a property that's worth $1.5 million and I paid $6,000 for it. That's one of the 700 deals I've done.
There you go.
So, I'm going to summarize my mission. When you think about financial freedom, people think I have to be a millionaire, I have to own a Lamborghini, a Ferrari, travel the world. None of that stuff.
Those things are nice to have.
Yes, don't get me wrong. But being financially free, it's about a number. And everybody has a number.
Yeah.
It doesn't have anything to do with your mattress, right? So what is your number? The number is how much money you're making right now. 90% of the people makes $5,000 a month or less.
Yeah.
So all you have to do in order to be financially free, you need to find strategies that's going to bring you the $5,000 a month.
Correct.
So if you put out there 5 Airbnbs on the next 6 months, I have a guy that I start coaching in 60 days. He's in property number 4 now, and he started with $10,000, right? You can be financially free in the next 12 months.
Yep.
Which means you're going to have $5,000 coming in and $5,000 going out. Now you have all the time. So you reach what we call safety. That's your first step. Once you hit safety, we're going to apply the same strategies for you to grow from safety to C. What is C? Comfort.
Mm-hmm.
So if you make 5K, now let's make 10. Let's make 15. Let's make 20.
Mm-hmm.
And then you keep applying those strategies, and you want to go from comfort to L. What's L?
Luxury.
There we go. Right? So let's make
He's been watching
let's make $120,000. Let's make $200,000 a month. So right now, 12 months after I started this Airbnb the Boss journey, just on that strategy alone, I'm making $45,000 to $50,000 cash flow a month.
That's what people make a year.
And I don't own any property. Get this. All those 45 properties that I have running on Airbnb, I don't own any of them. So it was crazy because
I love that because we own everything we got, right?
Do you know how much I pay in rent on the first? You want to know how much I pay in rent on the first? $65,000 I pay in rent on the first.
Okay, that's we're not that far from there, but we are on mortgages.
But man, we gotta. Okay. I mean, this is the beauty of these people. And let me see if I can explain this in a easy way. Ricardo and I don't want to say we struggle, but every month we need to get creative in order to grow our business. Get really creative in order to find money from investors or private lenders in order to.
Hold on. That doesn't mean Marcos doesn't do it.
No.
Otherwise, he wouldn't be getting into the Airbnb the Boss because he's getting creative.
I know.
I'm not saying he struggled to get there, right? But he's thinking, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm making money on tax liens and tax
It's more
liens.
visionary
I'm
than anything.
making money on selling, my own seminars to help other people get to where I am.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't keep him from saying, okay, these things are on autopilot. They work. I teach, I receive, and I buy and sell and I receive. There's got to be something else to it. And then he puts.
But what I'm trying to say is that the way I'm feeling right now, and I'm proud because I know you're probably feeling the same way, with the amount of effort and struggle that we put out there to purchase the property, own it, and then rent it or do whatever, we could be doing 100 of these things and probably making 50 times over.
Yeah.
The name of the game is horizontal income. You know, I love the flipping, buying, all that, but that's all active.
Yeah,
right? If you don't wake up, if you don't lick letters or envelopes, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean,
it has to be horizontal.
That is correct.
Horizontal means I'm sleeping, I'm here. I probably made about $2,500 just during this time right here.
Right.
And I'm not there in my properties, making the beds, cleaning the bathrooms, and doing all that.
Right. As long as you understand that there is a process.
Yes,
and then you follow
that's
the
horizontal.
process. And you put money into, because a lot of people say, I'm gonna do it better than Marcos.
No money in.
No money. I'm not gonna pay the cleaning person. I'm gonna save that money, and I'm gonna go do it myself.
No, the GY mentality doesn't work.
Exactly. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of people that got that poor mindset mentality, which I gotta do it cheaper. That way I can beat Marcos, and I'm using you as an example because you're already doing it. That way I can beat Marcos on profits. If he's making $1,000 a house, I'm gonna make $1,500 because I'm gonna do the bed myself. I'm gonna put the chocolates under the pillow myself.
I'm gonna put M&Ms.
I'm gonna put M&Ms. I'm gonna do the whatever. When in reality is Marcos is like, oh yeah, okay, but with a phone call in 35 minutes, I get it all organized. And that's it. The rest
if I tell you that I own I run couple of apartments in Miami on Airbnb. I launched like 7 months ago, and I never personally been in those properties. Would you believe that?
I do.
I do. I mean, knowing you, yeah.
No, let me know where they are because we go to Miami quite often.
Yeah, they're on Collins Avenue and Sunny Island.
Okay.
So both of them.
So Marcos, I mean, this has been mind blowing. We can't thank you enough for bringing your stuff to us
and from bringing value to you guys because this is for you. Even though we know that Dennis and I will take action on it and we'll move and we'll do things. This is more for you than it is for us. That's why we do this. That's why Marcos drove an hour and a half to get here today because he doesn't live anywhere close by our office or our
if you know about Houston, the Woodlands is like
it's another
north.
City. It's pretty much another
out
city.
there, and we're in the south.
We owe him tacos now. I don't know if he's on a diet or not. I see you lost weight, so you've been exercising and getting fit
every day.
Anyways, guys, Marcos. I know that we've mentioned your website over and over again. Marcos Jacober with J.
JACOBER.
Yeah, marcosjacober.com and hashtag Airbnb the Boss with the $ signs on the S's. But is there any other way to reach out to you? Maybe on Facebook, Instagram?
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook, marcusjacober.com. I share tons of material there on a daily basis. You're also going to see a lot of stuff on my website, okay? Or you can also reach out to info@americantaxlien.com. info@americantaxlien.com.
Thank you so much for
thanks
for
again for being with us, and
it was a pleasure, guys.
I appreciate it.
Tell other people, take action.
We
follow
gotta do
Mark.
round 2 with Marcos in a few months.
We'll probably have to do it in the woodlands.
We'll do it in his studio because he's got a great place.
Hold on, guys. Just to finish, I'm about to start a very cool project. In June 10, I bought myself an RV, and that's gonna.
You were telling me about that.
That's gonna become
gonna
become a pilot for a TV show, perhaps.
Okay.
And I'm gonna travel. I'm gonna do a cross country trip where I'm gonna stop in not every single, but in towns and counties, and teaching people on the road how to acquire tax liens and tax deeds. And my plan for every place that we stop, we're gonna plant an Airbnb and move it to the next town, and we're gonna leave that awesome. Baby behind, making money for us.
When will you make the first trip? When?
So we are planning to leave Atlanta, Georgia. I have a plan to plant at least 15 Airbnbs in Atlanta, just getting ready and ahead of Super Bowl next year. And we're going to departure from Georgia around June 10.
So where's the RV? In Georgia?
No, the RV is here. We're going to ship to Georgia. The guy is going to do all the wrapping and all that stuff.
All right.
And then we're going to leave from Georgia. Georgia is a tax deed state.
All right.
You can make anywhere from 0 to 20%. And we're going to start there.
So can we do something when you go do the shipping of the RV from Houston?
Okay.
Can we do a live video? And yeah, because look, what I want to really show people is that there's action takers out there.
Mm-hmm.
And he's right now saying, look, I just bought an RV. We're going to travel from county to county to buy property and plant Airbnbs. And the RVs here in Houston is going to Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
I want to show people that he's putting his money where his mouth is.
Mm-hmm.
So the day that RV is getting on the truck, or I don't know how you ship it, man.
We're gonna drive there.
Drive it there.
My friend, yeah.
The day you guys drive it, that's the day we want to go there and shoot a video and broadcast it through Renovating Riches. That way, they see the start of the journey, and then when you stop it, like the last day when you come back home or whatever, we want to do another one. That way, and I know it's gonna probably take a year, months, or whatever.
Well, I got a better proposition for you. We can definitely do that at the launching, but you guys can also come and join me because we're going to start doing this cool project called RV Experience.
That's it. Done.
Where we have people from all over the world already registering themselves to come and spend a week with me on an RV. Anywhere, whatever I am at, they're going to fly in. We pick them up at the airport, and then they stay with me 7 days, 5 days in the RV. Living it. We're doing a lot of mastermind. We do a lot of self-development stuff. And we're going to go to counties, and we're going to pick up the list and go and look at the properties and write a check and buy it and sell it. We're going to do the whole thing live.
That's awesome. I like it. I mean...
Signed up. That's it.
All right. Well, let's again thank Marcus for being here with us. We're definitely going to keep in touch and keep you guys in touch of what Marcus is doing. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
You don't forget. No, you have to go right now and subscribe to our YouTube channel and our Facebook page. The only way we can continue to do this is to gain subscribers, and we haven't done a good job lately on telling people to go there and hit the subscribe button. So you have to go to our YouTube channel, Renovating Riches Radio, hit subscribe. We only got 31 subscribers right now, and we got more views on each video than we have subscribers. And one of the reasons is we merged a couple of
the Spanish
YouTube
side,
channels, the Spanish side with the English side. We lost a lot of, it got messy. But right now, our head count starting today is 31 subscribers. That's completely unacceptable because I know we have thousands of viewers. So you all need to go there, hit subscribe.
Give us a review in iTunes.
Yeah, give us we don't take anything less than 5 stars. 5 stars.
So let's do this. Everybody that goes and click the button to subscribe, we're gonna send them a bunch of bonus material. You're gonna get the map so you can know which state does tax liens and tax deeds. You're gonna get
I'm
the
gonna have to
infograph.
subscribe again because
Yeah,
I
you're
want
gonna
that
get
map.
the you're gonna get the infograph explaining tax
You're
liens
not
and tax
subscribed
deeds.
to your own channel.
No, I'm
channel.
gonna have to resubscribe so I can get the
So
map.
look, Marcos just offered you free merchandise basically for tax liens and tax liens. You need to subscribe to our channel. You need to subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, and YouTube. And you need to go hit up a 5-star review on iTunes. And we're gonna get him the contacts. That way, he can ship the materials to you. And I'm pretty sure he's gonna ask you to go hit up his page as well to subscribe and put your info there. That way, you can start getting his information. But hey, you can't do any better than that. Today, you learn about tax liens and tax deeds. You learn about Airbnb the boss.
Correct.
And you're getting free merchandise. Happy Friday, everybody. You all have a good day.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you for listening and watching RenovatingRichesRadio.com. Find us and give us a like and 5-star review on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and any other social network you can find us. RenovatingRichesRadio.com.